YouTube, welcome back. This is gonna be a different style of video because it is a post-game commentary, but it's gonna be over two games, and the whole point really is to hammer home the visual representation, visual explanation of the art of going next. Now, I'm trying to tell you why it's so important and why it helps me so much. But just telling you isn't good enough. I want to show you why. Now, in this game, because this is going to be a short video, I'm actually going to tell you the result. We lost, and it wasn't pretty. It was kind of horrible. Now, my laning phase wasn't as sharp as it should be, so I've been making some mistakes in lane. But at the same time, there has been instances in the game where there's pretty much a team difference as well. You mix those two, you're guaranteed locked in for a loss, no matter what you say. So that's first thing. But the second thing is why am I showing you this? Because as we go to the next game, you're going to understand that there's a completely different circumstance, different game, and then we're going to tell you that should, if that doesn't tell you why going next is so important, I don't know what does. But let's actually show you what went wrong in this game. Okay, so I am laning against Renekton. I didn't kill him at all this laning phase, but I do have Ninja Tabis against his longsword. Now I think I should beat him with this, as long as I don't make too many mistakes, because it is an item ahead of him. But he does end up dodging my Q, but his E should be on cooldown. I just noticed I hit a full stacked bone plating, and he has ignite. Okay, so the reason why this was played bad from my side anyway, the reason why is because you see, the thing is, okay, so first of all, I flashed in and I ate all of his bone plating charges. What you're supposed to do is take his bone plating off and then go in. If we're talking about a full-on all-in, you want to make sure bone plating actually isn't a thing at all. Unless you have bone plating yourself, then that's a different story. But you don't want to deal with that bone plating. You want to have it completely gone and then go in. Because as you can see, it made a difference in that fight. So that's the first thing. Bone plating was in the way. Second, he has ignite, and with the way his ultimate works, he's going to be around for the fight long enough to make it really useful. Unfortunately, I made the mistake there. I wasn't really careful with his bone plating and ignite. And last but not least, as a last stand user, the way you're supposed to do all-ins, especially an all-in where Renekton is actually just fighting you, is your Q works in one or two ways. The first is you Q at the start so that it comes off cooldown, so that you can Q once you have 5 stacks because of the way the cooldown works, right? That's your first choice. Or the second choice, you Q at the end. What you don't do is Q in the middle, because as you can see in that scenario over there, my Q came off cooldown way too late, and Renekton ended up killing me. The only times that your Q should be used, like in the middle of a combo, is if you already have a lot of CDR. But that's the first death. Mechanical errors, whatever. What about this second death right here? Because it seems as if I'm getting completely demolished by their team. It was a 4 versus 2. I tried to help Nocturne with his Scuttle Crab, but I ended up dying to their bot lane. There's a huge difference in terms of bot lane, because we don't have a bot lane whilst they do. So we're in a whole heap of trouble, because not only am I not playing well, but I'm also in a team gap. It's 4-8. We don't have an ADC because our ADC is level 2. That's horrible. But maybe there's a way for me to come back into the game. Who knows? Because it's only 2 deaths. There's still ways to come back in. I take a couple platings, and it seems Renekton has come back. And he has Cleaver whilst I don't have... Bro, I am outstatted at this point. I am outstatted. And I'm taking ages to push this wave in. If I wasn't outstatted before, I am definitely outstatted now. At this point, the game is over. It's over. There is a team gap, and I'm not playing well. It's over. And now the third thing is, now I am outstatted by my laner. There's nothing I can do. It's GG. Done. Done and dusted. At this point, we pretty much lose the game. Because I very much doubt, yep, we FF'd and everything. I very much doubt that we managed to get a victory out of that game. Our Kalista was AFK from level 1 because she didn't like playing with Lux or something like that. Whatever the case may be, what does this have to do with going next? This was a doomed circumstance. Yes, I played bad, but also there was a team gap. And then last but not least, I got outstatted. At this point, there's nothing to do. Go next. And why is that important? Because when you go next, you have completely different sets of circumstances that you can capitalize on. Let me show you. All right, we are in game, in the next game, because I went next against Set. More aggressive, not really one to run or use like abilities to dash away from me. This is a-okay. He has Halo Blades. That's a little frightening because he just has quick combos now. And he has Ghost. He can match me when I try to run. But these are different circumstances, and I'm getting an aggressive jungler. I kited both of them. Now I'm kiting the Mundo as well. All these aggressive players going under my tower. These are 2 completely... What? That's insane. 2 completely different games. They would never try to go under the tower in the last game, but they did that for me in this game. That's... So that is what I'm talking about when I mean the art of going next. Once perfected, you can even... That's why it's important. It's important because you learn the difference between games' circumstances. Last game, the game was messed up. There was nothing you can do. It's literally doomed. You didn't have an ADC, and they wouldn't play aggressive enough. They wouldn't make enough mistakes that you can capitalize on. And they even had champions that I didn't want to deal with at all. It did not help me whatsoever. However, this game... Instead of facing like a mage like Aurelion Sol where you can't do anything, I'm playing it's Dr. Mundo. Instead of like a top laner like Kale where it's difficult to find openings, it's Set with Halo Blades. As for the jungler, it's not like it's Evelyn or Kindred. It's Master Yi, and he went under my tower to dive me. 2 completely different circumstances. This is an easier game. This is a more winnable game. There's much more you can do in this match. I know I'm basically a star player. Now, because of that, I have an item and a half over him. I have boots. I can kill him outright. Face tank everything. Because this is a completely different game. Different game, different circumstances, different opportunities to win. More or less, there are different opportunities that I can actually capitalize on to pull out a victory. Now, as you can see, it's 8-2 and it's only 6 minutes. So as you can tell, this game really just gets better from here, and it just, for them, it just goes downhill. Because once it comes towards the later stages of the match, I'm gonna fast forward this real quick. But once I stop moving, my health bar grayed out. That's because they FF'd, and we ended up winning. So, If this doesn't give you a visual representation or an explanation to why it's so important to practice this go next mentality or play style, then I don't know what does. Because as you can see, that last game, doomed, completely gone. Not only was I playing bad, but it was also doomed because I didn't even have a team to make a comeback. But I go into this game to completely different opportunities to win, two different chances, different situation, two massively, there's a canyon in terms of differences between those two matches, and I ended up winning and I got my LP back. That's why going next is so important. So with that being said, there is a little accountability I do need to take, and that is I didn't have the sharpest laning phase in the first game. I must admit I didn't kill the Renekton early on, and I also didn't play that first fight well with fighting his bone, playing his ignite, and not using my combo correctly as I should. Ending up dying, and my teeth are in the dirt because of it. And there's that. So it's not just go next. You also need to play adequately. You need to play well and go next. And once you do those two things, pair them up, I'll be back in Diamond 1 in no time. But with that being said, thank you for watching the video. Do the YouTube usuals, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and watch more videos. Anyways, that's it from me. All my links are down in the description below. Other than that, have a nice rest of your day. Peace late.
Nothing but